I recently received a gift from my wife for my birthday, and she bought me this chain. Now, I really don't like to wear necklaces to tell you the truth, but she said that this was a special necklace called the Forget-Me-Not necklace. And even though it looks like a bit like plumber's chain, it's made of 100% sterling silver, very expensive, I guess. And she said it's called the Forget-Me-Not necklace because it has some magical properties to it. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, well, remember how you're always taking your ring off whenever you go to work on a project around the house? I'll take my ring off and I'll leave it laying around. Sometimes I sort of forget where I placed the ring, so it could end up missing, and it has from time to time, just like it has right now. And she said the Forget-Me-Not necklace will come in handy because I never have to look for my ring again. I only have to look on the necklace, and because the ring will magically find its place to the necklace, which it has. And that is the Forget-Me-Not present that I received just recently for my birthday. Yeah, how about that? Comes in very handy, so I'll never forget where I place my ring ever again. The chain necklace is actually made up of 120 magnetic beads. Each and every bead can be separated at any point. Let me take one off and show you. These are 5.5 millimeter as opposed to the 2.5. I thought I would go with the larger one for visibility purposes. The taking on and off of the necklace, you simply have to just pretend by moving your hands back and forth like that. Just pretend like you're trying to unclasp something, and don't make it look too easy, because sometimes it's not if you had a real necklace and was trying to do that. So you display it, you pretend to, by going back and forth again with your hands, pretend to clasp it back and place it inside of your shirt. It does help to have a cotton t-shirt on underneath for the linkage of the ring, because the linkage is dependent upon you taking the edge of the ring and pressing it down upon the necklace at any point, actually. And what happens is, if you press, the beaded chain will jump over top and through the ring and will link itself right on. Let me show you again. I'll take it off. You simply come down, press it on the edge, and it pops right through. Couldn't be any easier than that. Of course, when your shirt is covering up the chain, what I like to do is, the ring is in this position right here, hidden between your first and second finger and your thumb. I come straight down, and as soon as I feel the edge of that ring hitting the chain, that's when I press. It links through, and then I come out like this to show that the ring is on. Pretend to take it off again by twisting your hands around the back and showing that the ring is definitely on the chain. Other than that, I guess what I could tell you is, for the vanish of the ring, it's simply a sort of a thimble move where you bend your first finger in and then extend it back out again. Looks like this. And if you pretend to take the ring off with the other hand as you're bending, like that, it looks as though you've taken the ring off of your finger. This hand drops to your side and gets the ring in this position between the first and back of the first and second finger and the thumb. Gets it in position as you're up here making that ring disappear. And then you come up, separate your shirt, come straight down, press the ring on, and show that it's on the necklace. Sometimes for the vanish, what I'll also do is, after I pretend to take it, and as I go to make it vanish, sometimes I'll actually press this ring onto my thumb down here by my side. So when it disappears, I can gesture, because my thumb is inside, ring is being hidden. I can gesture, and then I can gesture, make a final gesture showing both hands empty because the ring is now hidden behind. Bring your thumb back in from here to there, point up to here, and as you go to undo your button, that's when you're getting the ring in position. Right now it's in position for the link. You come up, separate, come down, press, and the ring ends up on. There is one other vanish that I'll use sometimes, which I can show you. I'll need to back the camera up just for a moment. So let me turn this off. For this particular vanish of the ring, I'm sort of emphasizing that there's nothing up the sleeve because I have a short sleeve shirt on. But if I did have a long sleeve shirt on, I would just roll it up one cuff length so I could push my sleeve up. And it looks like this. For this vanish, the thumb is inserted into the ring itself. The ring ends up on the thumb, just like it did before in the other vanish, so that the thumb can be hidden behind the arm as you're pushing your sleeve up, showing your empty palm. Push the sleeve up or emphasize nothing up your sleeve. Do the vanish. It's gone. Show both hands empty. And come up to then show that the ring is now on the necklace. Taking it off. Don't make it look too easy when you take it off. And that's about it. That's all. Here's something new I've been practicing. It's a trick with a consolation prize in case it doesn't work, because if it doesn't work, you get to take a ride in my '87 Nissan. Yeah, how about that? You know, they call it a Nissan because if you try to squeeze into it, your knees are on this, your knees are on that. Hey, I know the jokes are bad, but watch the magic. Hopefully it makes the magic look a little bit better. With my finger ring, I'm going to take the magic keys of my Nissan and wave it over top of my hand. With a circular motion, my wedding ring disappears. Doesn't go very far though, because it jumps right over to the keychain linked together with my keys on my keychain to my Nissan. Boy, it's a good thing you didn't have to take a ride in that thing, I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, that's the magic I've been practicing. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I want you to have a wonderful evening. I located the tin of magnetic beads that I used for those effects. It's called a Mag Cube, and I bought these on Amazon, I believe for about maybe $10 or $11. Inside the tin, I believe I received somewhere close to maybe 150 beads, and they're quite strong actually. So I never had a problem with linking anything onto the chain that I've made. I'm sure you can still find these very readily available. These were 5 millimeter in diameter. And inside you can see that there is quite a few left. The keychain that I made up was fairly easy to do, just a small length that are all connected together, running through 2 keys which would not be magnetic at all. And after bringing these keys out and showing them to everyone, I would simply lay them behind something or underneath the counter if I was working at work at the time at Ace Hardware. This was years ago. But or you could lay them behind a handkerchief or back into the box that you took them out of. But the nice thing was, look, you just press down, the beads jump right around. The beads are strong enough to jump a very thick ring. Now when the chain was brought out, I made sure that the keys were facing the spectator and then slowly turned them around to reveal that the key was, that their ring was actually fastened onto the chain. Easy to put on, easy to take off. Like I'd mentioned in the video, it's nice to have a soft surface like a t-shirt or something soft to press the ring up against and then up against the chain. It helps the ring penetrate through and then it reattach itself. Here it is on the length of chain for around the neck. Again, very easy to put on, easy enough to take off. My chain length was 16 inches long, which would be when it was doubled and connected together, it was 16 inches in length. The only thing you have to be aware of when using this magnetic balls is they are so strong that if you get them close together, like you see here, they have a tendency to attract each other, and then you're in trouble a little bit. So whether you're wearing that around your neck, always keep them separated, and the same thing with the keychain. Once again, you can see how easily it pops on, how easily it pops off, and I've never really had a problem with it not working. So that's just how easy that is.